Good morning. All right. Good morning, YouTube. Saturday. I was on. Okay. Okay, we found it. We found it. We found it. I was just toying around with this thing today. Walk down. Ah. Anyway, I'm sorry. Um, trying to think of a topic that's gonna help get you guys going. I'm gonna drink some C4. I'm supposed to do one pool today. One pool today. And I'm supposed to be there at 5 something in the morning. However, I didn't want to be that early on a Saturday. Just restarting this customer because that's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. From why is he here this early on the Saturday standpoint? Excuse me. So what I'm gonna do in the meantime is I'm gonna try to finish waking up and talk to you guys here. If you come to this channel, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and hit the bell notification. Today's topic of conversation is, what are your expectations from music? What are your expectations from your playing? Especially if you are a beginner player. What are your expectations? And when I say what are your expectations, it's like what number one, what do you want to get out of your playing? Sorry. Do you want to pause this for 1 second? Okay, I'm back. So, what are your expectations for playing music? When I first started playing, all I knew was I just wanted to play the piano. I wanted to play the piano. I have the Casio model inside there that I had began my playing on back in 2018, when I started to take my playing seriously. All I wanted to do was I just wanted to learn. That was my expectation. And there you go. My expectation was to learn. That was my expectation. So within that expectation, the first thing that I did was, of course, start watching all the videos I can. That was it. Ja Rule at the time was very instrumental. Ja Rule 24, very, very good dude. Corey, the skilled musician. Write these names down. They're still out there, and their videos are still out there. Um, Crucial Keys, Crucial with a K-R-U, Crucial Keys. Lafayette Carthon, he's no longer there. I think he took his videos down. He took his videos down, but that was my expectation, was just to learn what I'm doing. And again, you guys know that was the song I started with. So what are your expectations of music? Why do you want to learn this instrument, or just an instrument in general? Personal enjoyment, because you can. Well, I wanted to also push the see what my brain could do. And keep this in mind, every single year, depending on how you attack, depending on how you practice, your expectation level is going to adjust, not change. It's going to adjust. You know, like this year, I said I really want to. I want to learn how to get my reading up to par. And that is exactly what I did. Where are we going in? How you guys think I'm doing? Hey, I'm tickled. I'm tickled because I didn't think it was possible. You know, that song makes me want to pop it up there. Rainy days, and Mondays. But that was my expectation for this year. You know, because I already knew how to. You know, I already had that that part playing. I already had the playing by ear down. I wouldn't say down packed, but I had it. I had it at a level where people can think, well, wow, you know, he can come play for us. I couldn't come play for them. My music teacher told me that. She said, no, I'm not gonna let you embarrass yourself like that. I'm not gonna let you embarrass yourself like that. I feel like I should change change to my teaching specs. Hold on for 1 second. Okay, got that out the way. But yeah, my teacher told me, she said, I'm not gonna let you embarrass yourself like that. She said, you are not ready. Not that I wanted to be ready. And this goes back to I hired her when? This says June 1st of 2019. So I probably got with her. I have to look back on our text, but I worked with her probably till September. I didn't see her because COVID hit. I didn't get a chance to see her until I think I did take her through the summertime. My niece is living with this. So I think I had almost like a year with her, less than a year with her. Literally just a short period of time with her. And I can even tell you one of the songs that we started, which was this Georgia. And it wasn't even that. It wasn't even that way. It was the way she started playing it. Sorry. We started at the ground level of just practicing that song, and the way I took it was I took it there. That was mostly ear. That was mostly ear and me practicing and me understanding, my building blocks of what she was teaching me in 1 year with her. 1 year with her, and I think what was the name of that group? What was his name? He's still alive today. Not Miles Davis. I should have charged his phone up. But he's hailed as a musical genius. What is his name? He's living in his SUV. Not SUV, his trailer. Sly and the Family Stone. And he said, just like I said, he said he had a music teacher that taught him find your key. That taught him a lot about music in about 8 months, and he absorbed it. And you'll have those people like him. I'm nowhere near him, or at least we're gonna test that theory. At least we're gonna pick up that guitar, test that theory. Go back on some of my previous channels. Not previous channels, but go back to the timeline. I'm hitting the guitar up because I also started taking guitar lessons. And one thing about the guitar lessons that I was taking was because I had an understanding. Because I had an understanding of chords. I don't know if this has changed. Because I had an understanding of chords. Because I had an understanding of chords, my guitar teacher said, he was like, because you have an understanding of chords, you are progressing. You're actually going to a harder level. Because I have an understanding of, you got your D chord. I'm sorry. That's your D chord, but that's your inverted D. So when they start playing it, it's kind of out of tune. Yeah. Because I had an understanding of chords, it made this easier. So all I had to do was get grounded, just like I did with piano. All I had to do was get grounded, and I'm off to the ponies. Get grounded. That's the book right there that I started learning from. Guitar Method, Grade 1. And I heard from many guitarists that if you go through this book and you go to Grade 2, you got it. I even started progressing so far in the guitar that guitar players at church that didn't know about chords asked, how do you know how to build your chords on top of that? When I used to compose songs, I used to compose songs from the guitar and take it over to the piano. I said, man, I like the way that sounds. You know, you got your E, A, D, G, B, E, you know, and I can also take that over to the bass guitar. And as a side note, I used to walk. I got guitars. I got a little guitar, almost a guitar stick, where I used to just, you know, in case I was going somewhere and I wanted to just sit there and do some practicing. You know, I got a lot of practicing times in, because my expectation of music was that I want to learn what I'm doing. I want to exactly learn what I'm doing, chord progressions. I did not want to be, I wasn't just satisfied with playing by ear. I wasn't just satisfied playing by ear. Oh, that sounds nice. What are you doing? Because I asked a musician in Radio Shack. I'm going all the way back to Radio Shack. And I met this musician. He plays so beautifully. And I said, how do you do that? And he said, I don't know. He gave me an answer. One of my piano friends, I asked him, I said, what are you doing? And he plays phenomenal. TikTok Tito, look him up. I don't know, because I thought he could teach me. I thought he could teach me, because my thing is, I'm all into teaching. I'm all into teaching, explaining to you a chord progression. You know, so raindrops falling on my head. You know, he's starting on the... You know, why did that sound so good? Is because we actually took it to a minor chord, which was a 6. So we're not going from the 6 now, we're going back to the 2, that's become a minor. I'm gonna actually take it. And now take it a little bit slower. Take it to your A7. My favorite part. And we're gonna turn that into something beautiful once we get it under our fingertips. So my expectation was to exactly learn what I'm doing. That is all I'm expecting to do out of this music. I'm not trying to play for a church. I'm not trying to play for an event. I'm not even trying to play for a wedding. I'm not trying to play. My job is it. My dad's like, you why don't you play for church? That's Pop, I don't think the Lord called me to do that. I don't think I don't think he called me to do. I don't think he called me to do that. I think my calling is to teach. So if there is any young people out there, let me see. Don't do that in church. Don't do that in church. You're gonna mess up with the spirit of the song. You're gonna mess up with the spirit of the song doing your experimentation of chords. I'm digressing, sorry. And that's gonna be another topic of conversation later on. You're hearing about this thing going on in the music industry. Certain chords make you do certain things, make you feel certain ways. It's true. If you think about the song, I heard there was a sacred chord. I heard there was a sacred chord. Do, 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 but you don't really care for music. Look up the Pentatonics. They did a beautiful song. Was you call Hallelujah? That was the name of the song. I heard. Let me see. I heard there was a sacred chord. Let me see. Another expectations, I want to be able to sing toward my voice. I can't sing, but I'm going to sing so that I can learn. There you go. So if we're working in the key of B, so 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. So let's see. Let's take it to the passing chord. So anyway, that's an example of an expectation. That is a prime example of an expectation. I heard there was a sacred chord. The day it played. So part of the expectation is, again, understanding what I'm doing. So I'm like, okay, well, I want to take a song. I heard it was a sacred chord, the David da da da, but you don't really care for music, do you? And it goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, do 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 do. I'm all out of key. Now here's the thing: even though I can't sing, I can tell other people when they're out of key, and I can tell when I'm out of key because I spend time at the keys. So when I'm spending time at the keys, I can tell, I'm like, no, bring it down a notch. So if you ever wonder how Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, that are not singers, can tell people how to sing, is because they spent so much time behind music. They can dictate a song. They can, what other person wasn't a singer? but he can tell you how to sing a song, how it should be played, how it should be sung. You know, no, sing it like this. Just like Michael Jackson wasn't a quote unquote instrument player, but he could tell you, this is how I want you to play it, because this is how I hear it in my head. And he'll go and he'll start doing the beat and everything, because he spent so much time dancing, timing with his music, that he and singing, that he can be like, no, play it like, do it like this, you know. So this is kind of that in reverse. So that was my expectation of music. My expectation was to be able to sit down and say, well, okay, I want to take a song uh take a song like Hallelujah and say, I want us to be able to say, okay, this is the key it's in, this is the chord progression. We're going from the 1 to the 1 to the 1 to the 5. So we're so 6 to the 6. No wonder that's a minor. So that's an expectation. Have I met that expectation? I'm working with it. And it's getting better and better and stronger. It's gotten to the point where I can be like, okay, this is how the song is gonna go. This is how I hear it in my head. Okay, now let's pull the sheet music and let's test. Let's put it to the test. Let's put what I'm hearing to the test, see if it's in the right key. And most of the time, surprisingly, if it's not the right key, it's either a key under. It's always a key under. So I don't have perfect pitch. One piano teacher said you have very good relative pitch. And relative pitch is, I heard there was a sacred chord. Now relate that to, I'm relating. So a person with perfect pitch can be like, I heard there was a sacred chord. He'll be able to say I. As soon as I say I, he can be like, that's G flat or F sharp. He'll be able to actually F sharp, say chord. He'll be able to literally, not even hearing the whole song, be able to put those tones out. I've seen people with perfect pitch, but I wanna see this stuff in person. I wanna see, I heard there's a sacred chord. And a lot of people in church can do that. But I have a very good relative pitch. And I'm working on the perfect pitch. Anybody that says people are born with perfect pitch, stop it. That means literally as soon as they're able to, you have to teach perfect pitch. I don't care what nobody tells you. That's like me saying that I'm born to recognize that this is the color orange. How would I know if this is the color orange if nobody said, hey, this is orange? But that's for a different topic of conversation. That's just my thoughts on it. But going back to, what are your expectations in your playing, and how are you doing? Here's the rule of thumb, year 10. So I found Cynthia in, I believe, September of 2018. I believe that's when I found her. So this is 18, this is September, help me out. September October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June. Yeah, I had her for about 9 months, and then COVID kicked off. And I've been meaning to go back to get some formal training because I always believe that training by a professional is good. Just to sit down and at least I need to get the rest of that because that's what I'm stuck at, and I don't know the lyrics to that. But where are you at? What are your expectations in music? What are your expectations in music? And what's the timeline? So I want to know what your expectations are in music. What's the timeline? What's the timeline? So you guys saw me when I was just you guys saw me when I first took that song on. You guys saw me when I first took that song on, and it wasn't long. It wasn't long. I know you think that the road is long. Time is short. Time is short. It depends on. Uh, what can I take that in a different key? Oh, there we go. Take key. Go somewhere with it. Anyway, I'm just having fun with that in a different key. The road may seem long, but it's short. It's short. Take the journey with me. Let me know where you guys are at. What are your expectations? What are your expectations when it comes to music? And I'm going to leave you with that. Peace.